With the unending crisis in the Labour Party, it seems the party may not be out of the woods soon. This time, the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC has ordered a nationwide takeover of Labour Party offices in the country. This comes after the Supreme Court ruling that set aside the judgment recognizing Julius Abure as the party's national chairman. The directive by the NLC stems from the accusations of financial mismanagement and autocratic behavior under Abure. However, the Labour Party has vowed to resist the move, insisting the Supreme Court ruling does not invalidate Abure's position. Ashukwa, now, the NLC is set to take over Labour Party offices, nationwide, and the action is born out of the Supreme Court ruling. Is this the beginning of the end for Julius Abure in the Labour Party?
Well, you can't say it's the beginning of the end because they are still holding, claim to being victorious at the Supreme Court. I was trying to read the CTC. Somebody sent the CTC to me this evening, but I couldn't finish it. But there were some things that the justices actually, pointed out, which was, the suits. The previous suits that we are taking there, and then the appeal and all that. So I will go ahead to, finish it. But for now, what I'm looking at is the Abure camp still believe that Abure is still the chairman because they are saying that the case about him, that he was still the chairman as at March 2024. Okay, and at that, there was a convention that brought him back. And when they were going to court, the people who took him to court did not say, Supreme Court, please help us nullify that convention. And don't forget that even when during the Asaba, because I want to now go to NLC, when they had the meeting in Asaba, the NLC was also there. And it was even there that they said, okay, Mr. Abure, continue for another 1 year. And that 1 year was supposed to elapse maybe in June. So that is where the Abure camp is coming from. They are even saying that the Supreme Court did not say, Mr. Abure, leave the place. That is what they are saying. But from the little that I've read from that CTC, the Supreme Court was even saying that this is a party matter, quite all right. And that even that the court was even wrong to have even affirmed Abure. Towards the end, I was trying to read that the court was even wrong to have even affirmed Abure because
as the party chairman.
Yes, as the party chairman, because it was not even a matter that they, because they said it was not a matter that they brought before it. So if you look at what is happening in the Labour Party, there's a big issue. Now, the other camp, the caretaker camp that has Obi, the governor, and some other lawmakers.
And Nandi
Usman, the chairman. They met today in Abuja. But where did they meet? Transcorp. They didn't go to the party's secretariat to meet. Abure is still having the keys to the place. And that is why the NLC is saying they are going there to go and, to evict him. But I think everybody needs to calm down if the party really needs. Because at the end of the day, if you look at it, they have 3 factions. Namadi Usman faction, Abure faction, and Lamadi Apapa's faction is still there.
Is it still there?
Yes.
Really? In fact, there are 4 factions.
There's still another one.
No. There is the NLC faction.
NLC faction.
So you understand? So they need to really see that if they really want this party, to remain one, they have to now start thinking how they will, sit down to agree on so many things. And one thing I notice about political parties and politicians is that they always fail to sit down at the round table for them to agree and shift ground when necessary. They usually do that late. But the only political party that has been able to, foster that unity and say, okay, fine. You know what? You take this one, you take this one.
Okay.
Then it's only the APC that have been able to get that, and they've gotten it right.
All right.
And that was how they were able to get power.
Thank you, Asuko. Now, Mojid, the Supreme Court ruling. Both factions, they've interpreted it the way they both deemed fit. To the Abure faction, they said, this court ruling favors us. To the OB and the governor of Abia State, they said, oh. But talk to me. Will you say the Supreme Court ruling has truly and indeed put an end to the leadership tussle in the Labour Party?
The Supreme Court ruling is very clear.
Clear?
Very clear.
Then why are they misinterpreting it then?
And it's not ambiguous. They cannot read. All of them were in courts. You see, when people want to be mischievous, you have two parties.
Okay.
In courts. They have legal representation. The judges will read the judgments. All of them were taking notes. They were there listening. They had the conclusions. There will be at least, if it's a 5-member panel, there will be either majority and minority decision or unanimous. And when the majority reads it's something, some people, I mean, if it's a split decision, some people will go and be quoting from
the other one,
from the minority. That's when they will be telling, it is those who lose that will be telling you they are waiting for CTC. It is when you lose a case in court that you say,
you need the CTC.
I want to see the CTC to really interpret. You don't need, see, the court is very clear. And that's why today, Peter Obi, Nenadi Usman, and Oti, they are.
But in your opinion, what did the court say?
The Supreme Court said no court should interfere in the internal affairs of a party. They have the right to choose their leadership. And who is supposed to be the leader? It is Abure has gone. It's Nenadi, who is the caretaker. Is the person that has been recognized now. Yes, but recall that Labour Party are led by, the Nigerian Labour Congress, under Abure, also has an interest. And I don't know what their interest is. Is it now a political party, or is it a pressure group that they are saying they want to go and shut down Labour Party offices? They call Abure was beaten up in Imo during the Imo governorship election.
Yes.
I hope he won't go and put his head again now to the extent that he will be beaten up again. Because he should be able to separate the Nigerian Labour Congress from the Labour Party. This is not the first time we are having a Labour leader in the country. This is not the first time we are having Labour Party. There should be a distinction. We've had Labour leaders in the past. I mean, the likes of Bafiau, even Oshiomhole, all of them, and the immediate past leader, his predecessor, before him, they were not entrenched in Labour Party matters. They were more interested in Nigerian Labour Congress and the welfare of workers. So they need to separate this.
All right, let's flip this coin a little bit. Do you think, with all of this crisis going on in the Labour Party, do you think the Labour Party can pick up its tessellated pieces, the problems, do you think they can pick it up before the elections come 2027?
Well, if they can only pick up their pieces if they all the camps agree. But if they continue in this manner of winner takes it all, it will be very difficult for them, because you can't go to a battle as a divided house.
Okay.
Because that was what happened to PDP, and you saw the result. So if one particular faction is saying, no, we want to take everything, and then leave the other faction, don't forget, the other faction will still go to court to say, okay, please help us interpret what you actually... It will start again. Another legal battle will start, and then they will start going to court. At the end of the day, it will drag. So I do not want to believe that Namadi Usman's faction would want to close the door and not allow Abure, who actually invited them into the party in the first place, you know, for them to come. And then, I mean, the likes of Obi and some of them who are lawmakers today, because most of them were outside. But he opened the door for all of them to come.
Okay. All right. Now, to round off this conversation, because to some Nigerians, you know, in 2023, they saw the Labour Party as an alternative. The obedient movement and the... Hold on. But are you surprised at the way the Labour Party has coordinated its affairs? You know, from one crisis to the other. Like, are you disappointed?
See, to solve this problem, Peter Obi should show leadership.
Where does Peter Obi stand in all of this crisis?
He's the symbol, he's the rallying point.
Yes. So where does he stand? He has picked a side here.
See, this crisis has lingered for too long. He should be able to rally the party together. Peter Obi should be able to differentiate obedient movement from the party. He should be able to harmonize everybody. If they really want to form a strong opposition, if they want to push forward a unified force against the APC in 2027 is just round the corner. 2027 is just round the corner.
Exactly.
And how many election cycles have we had in the past? What role did Peter Obi play? What role did he play in Kogi, in Edo, in Ondo? Candidates will emerge for Ondo, for Ekiti and Osun governorship elections before the end of this year. What role will the Labour Party play as an alternative to PDP?
Do you think the crisis in the Labour Party has kind of diminished the public standing of Peter Obi, you know, which he enjoyed before the 2023 election? Just in 30 seconds as we round up. What
you are saying is, for him to provide leadership for that party. Everybody knows that he was the party's flag bearer during the presidential election. So many people will be looking up to him, not about just criticizing the government, but also about seeing the party as his own and rallying everybody to come.
Unite your party first before you come to unite Nigeria.
So if you cannot unite the party,
how do you not want to unite Nigeria?
I agree with you.
It's the most important.
All right, then.